on a breakaway, scores!
Big hit at the blue line.
And he got waffleboarded. What a save!
He shoots, he scores.
Drives in, score!
This is the 6 Hockey.
Welcome to York Canlan Rink number 2 for a game between the Toronto Marlboros and the Reps Hockey Club. I'm Sammy Brzozowski, joined by the ever so underwhelming Simon Hendricks. Simon, we got a good game ahead of us. The Marlboros, they are looking to go deep in this league, and the Reps looking to make a splash.
Yeah, certainly so, Sammy. The Marlboros are looking not to underwhelm themselves here in this game as they're taking on the Reps Hockey Club. A good test here for the Reps. Luke Lawson, the starting goaltender for them, he's got one heck of a task ahead of him.
He certainly does against a strong offense in the Toronto Marlboros. They have Nolan Hardy in between the pipes. Now, Simon, I wanted to ask this question. How many times do you think that a goalie tandem on a team have shared the first name? Of course, I'm talking about the Reps Hockey Club in Luke Lawson and Luke DeFonso.
Are we talking GTHL or just anything?
I mean, GTHL, it's probably even more rare, but anything, I'm struggling to think of a...
Yeah, there must have been, was there like a Jonathan, like did Jonathan Bernier ever play
Jonathan
with
Bernier, Jonathan
Quick. I was
yeah,
just going
there
to say,
you go.
yeah, on the Kings, right? Yeah.
That's a good one to think about. And you know what? We'll keep thinking about it. If any more pop in your head during the broadcast, you can interrupt me at any time. I don't care if it's during a breakaway as a centering pass just goes wide. I want to hear them as we have a whistle on the play. If you tell me that that is the net, it is the net.
Oh,
you
it
see
is
Luke
too.
Lawson fixing that one. Of course, if you're unfamiliar with our broadcasts, we hate when the net comes off. It seems to happen entirely too often here in the GTHL, but nonetheless, it'll be a face-off inside for the Marlboros as we pan to center ice. At the point now, that was number 21, Christian Casulo, firing that one into the far side corner. Behind the net now, a battle, and it's the Reps that come up with it, looking to start a breakout from their own end. Casulo, he dumps this one back in. Over to Riley behind the net. Riley working in behind the net of Lawson. Jammed against the boards. It pops out in front, but no Marlboro available to get a stick on it as the Reps come back the other way. That's Barrett. He drops it over to Guinea. Guinea was trying to take that one wide, intercepted by the Marlboros as they fire it through the neutral zone. Getting a piece of that was Barrett from the point. As now we fire it back into the zone. Daddario, he was trying to go in on his lonesome. The Marlboros, they clean that one up as Riley fires that one into the zone. Back out now over to Lavolsi. Lavolsi dumps and goes for a change. The Reps looking to get something started early against the Marlboros as Powell fires it through the neutral zone. Coming in now, the Reps fire that one. Great save by Hardy as we see a spill on the near side boards. A little hard to see the numbers from this camera angle. We will do our best as the Marlboros doing their best on this rushing attempt. That's Quinn firing it over to Warner. That play dies as soon as it started, but the Marlboros, they're able to keep it in momentarily as now it's the Reps coming back the other way. A dump into the zone. Hardy coming out of his net to play. That's number 14, Mason Quinn, waiting for the pass. Instead, the Marlboros elect to dump it down the length of the ice. Gets a deflection off a stick. No icing on the play as now the Reps looking to push it through the neutral zone. No major chances from both teams so far this game as Jodouin put it behind the net. Goes for a double D on. I don't know if that counts if it's on one of your own teammates. He got one Marlboro, one...
and one of his own, yeah. I wonder how much gravity had a factor in that one, but a good double D on show.
Yeah, net neutral hit there from the Reps Hockey Club as it pops out back to them in their own zone. They're forced to regroup as Petrov dumps it back in, but offside were the Marlboros. That was number 40.
Still offside here. The Marlboros, they have to tag up. Referee still has his hands up.
As Cameron didn't realize he had a man coming in as soon as he was coming out. That was Braden Riley, caught offside there momentarily. As the Marlboros, they've done a great job at stifling the neutral zone. The Reps have only really been able to just dump it in as Braden Riley tries to fire it up to the top of the circle. That one's intercepted. The Reps coming back the other way. Alone in the neutral zone, they decide to dump this towards the net of Hardy. Once again, he comes out to play this one to start the breakout from his own end. Circling around now is Casulo. Sends it over to his D partner, a turnover. Now at the top of the circle, the Marlboros, they regroup. Not a lot of offense early in this one.
No, certainly not. And honestly, you talked about how difficult it has been for the reps to break into the zone, but the Marlboros, they haven't been able to really get anything set up. Sure, they might have some more zone time there in the offensive zone, but nothing really doing for them in terms of getting their offense actually set up and getting any sort of set plays or offensive momentum on their side so far.
Yeah, it's been a lot of dump and chase, but not a lot of successful board side challenges in this one. A little bit of a different energy in this game as we've seen from the last couple, which called a game that there was, 6 goals in the first period?
Yeah, I think in that game we did yesterday, it was, a 4-2 at the end of the first period for the Canadians. It was kind of crazy.
It was certainly crazy, as a crazy chance there for the reps comes to nothing. The net is being adjusted, as it'll be a face-off inside the zone of the Toronto Marlboros. Michael Powell's line out for the reps, trying to keep what small momentum they have right now. Dario there to take the face-off. Of course, we see number 8, Dawson O'Connor, back there as well. We know he likes to move it along the blue line as the Marlboros. They elect to dump that one out. Mason Quinn is the forechecker for them. It's a loose puck shot across the zone. The Marlboros unable to keep it in. Coming back the other way are the reps. That's Powell with it. He sends it across. A battle on the far side boards. Sends it over O'Connor. Pops out to Powell. Powell across for Daddario. Scores! Joshua Daddario opens up the scoring for the reps. A beautiful keep in there from O'Connor. And the Mississauga Reps Hockey Club are up 1-0.
What a fantastic start for this reps club. We were just making the point of how the Marlboros seem to be dominating possession, but give this reps team a chance. And they capitalize on that beautiful keep in you said there from O'Connor, and a beautiful shot. Hardy tried his damnedest to make a save. I think he may have got just a little piece of that one, but that shot was just too wide open. He basically had a full 4x6 when he got the puck, and the reps are up by 1.
A weird deflection off the, I don't want to call it a dump in there from Michael Powell because it was heading towards the net, but it kicked off a Marlboro skate right to the stick of Daddario. Daddario, he made no mistake. A great start from the reps as Casulo. He jumps it back into the zone. Powell didn't like the little collision there. He gave Casulo a little shot in the neutral zone, as we're going to follow them for a bit, as now the reps, they dump this one back into the zone. The Powell line goes for a change. What a shift that was. And it'll be called for an icing just before the red line. They dumped it in. It'll be a face-off inside for the Marlboros. I mean, you can't really blame Hardy for that goal, can you?
No, not at all. I mean, like you said, a bit of a weird bounce and a good cross-ice feed that found the stick of Daddario, and he was able to just pot one in off a very good, took his time, didn't rush too much, made sure he got good power on that wrist shot right from below the circle area. And yeah, you can't really blame Hardy on that one.
As another weird bounce off a stanchion, but the Marlboros, they are the first to that puck in the neutral zone. That's dumped back in and deflected away by Petrov. Petrov unable to keep this one in at the blue line. Comes back to the Marlboros zone. They elect to dump it in once more. A battle behind the net. It's the reps that come up with it. The reps looking to start a breakout from their own end, but good forecheck here from the Marlboros. At the top of the circle now, the reps fired into the neutral zone, walking in now. Bringing it in now is number 23, Jodouin. Jodouin drops it back for number 77, Morgan. Alex Morgan had a nice one-timer opportunity there, save made by Hardy. Circling back around now are the Marlboros. The Marlboros looking to get something started in their own end. That pass is deflected by a skate. They're forced to regroup but bring it back in now are Toronto. Toronto's unable to get anything started on that one, so Ashcroft, he elects to dump it back in once more. The Marlboros haven't been able to generate a cycle opportunity in the offensive zone really at all this game, and that's something they do so well. It's how they generate a lot of their offense. As now that's Miles Riley taking it up. Riley, he has some speed. Riley walking through the neutral zone, fires this one onto the net of Lawson. Lawson makes the save. It'll be a face-off inside.
Something really quickly I just want to point out about our man Luke Lawson, the goaltender of this Reps club. And their last game, it was a 3-0 loss to the Don Mills Flyers, but that was in no part due to the fantastic play from Luke Lawson. He was in net making some incredible saves. He made a lot of breakaway saves. He made a lot of athletic 10-bellers. Certainly not the reasons the Reps won. And to go on a back-to-back from the Flyers to the Marlboros, his team needs him to have another spectacular performance again today.
And that's something we've come to expect from Luke Lawson. I mean, Lawson is one of the, top 5 goalies maybe in this league right now?
I would say for sure. I think obviously Owen Loftus should be way up there. You can make an argument that both Sokolov and Nolan Hardy, the goaltender tandem for the Marlboros, are up there as well. I think you also have to give some credit to Liam Cochran there on the Von King side as well.
And Stokes.
And Dimitri Stokes, yeah. I blanked on his name for a second, but of course Dimitri Stokes as well. But Luke Lawson, maybe not on the team with the prestige of or on the talent echelon of those other ones we just mentioned, but certainly not lacking the goaltender talent are the Reps.
That is true. They do have a good tandem. I mean, this has been a strong goaltending class from what we've seen right now. If we were collecting the power rankings, it would be difficult to name the top 3. It would be hard to miss out on certain names, but the Von Kings have a good tandem, the Canadians have a good tandem, the Reps have a good tandem, and of course the Marlboros have a good tandem as well.
Even the majors have a pretty good tandem with Sack and Cohen O'Neill back there as well.
That's true. I mean, there's not a lot of weakness here in U16 AAA hockey, as a whistle is blown. That's number 3, Simon. The net comes off once more. Yeah. I don't know if he was just fixing it. I don't believe that is why the whistle was blown. It looked like there was some confusion from the Marlboros bench as it pops out back to the point through traffic. Hardy makes a great save there as LeCastro. He fires it around the far side boards. Trying to get it out now are the Marlboros. At the blue line, nice move. Mason Quinn walks it in. Sends it over to Warner. Warner cutting in front. Rebound for Quinn. And that's an excellent save from Luke Lawson, keeping out a surefire goal from Mason Quinn. It's the Marlboros retaining possession. A pass across over to Pacek. Pardon me, that was Herbert. Behind the net now. Centering pass in front, deflected. Rebound! And Lawson makes another solid save. A flurry of chances for Toronto. Unable to capitalize, but it'll be a face-off inside the Rep zone.
And if you're the Marlboros, this is exactly what you need to do. They were a little bit, I shouldn't say they were a little bit of anything. They were kind of settling into this game through those first few minutes, allowed that opening goal by the Reps and Daddario. But now it seems like they're a bit more settled in with their offense and gaining some good momentum here, just peppering shots towards the net of Luke Lawson. And that's exactly what they need to keep doing, just crash the net and hoping a rebound comes their way.
As Cameron was unable to handle the pass at the blue line to the Reps, they generate an opportunity now. That's O'Connor walking in, firing it, hit something and went out of play. Hardy goes for a drink. It'll be a face-off in his end as the Marlboros, they do go for a change. Dawson O'Connor getting himself involved early in this one.
Yeah, and I would say that Dawson O'Connor, he might be way up there when this game's all said and done in terms of ice time. I would say if you're talking offensively, he's probably the most offensive-minded defenseman that this Reps team has, and they do rely on him quite a lot to set up those plays in the offensive zone.
The Reps have a sneaky, strong D-core. They have guys like Ben Butler as well as Noah Daba to join Dawson O'Connor, as it's the Marlboros looking to go back into their own zone, regroup. That's Maximus Mavru with it now. On the far side boards, Mavru jammed up by his bench. The Reps, they retain possession in the neutral zone. A chance for them to now get something started in Toronto's zone, but they elect to dump it, go for a change. The Marlboros looking to get some more flashes of offense. We saw a few minutes ago they had their first grade A opportunity. That, of course, was stopped by Luke Lawson as it hits off the ref on the far side boards, and the Reps come back the other way. A shot across, saved by Nolan Hardy. Pardon me, blanked on the name. I was getting distracted by the kerfuffle behind the net. Nothing doing there. But these teams, there appears to be a little bit of animosity.
Yeah, there certainly appears to be a little bit of animosity. I think if you're the Reps, you're kind of batting 500 throughout this season so far, not really able to generate a lot of winning momentum in terms of the games they've been playing. So if you're the Reps, adding some physicality, I think is exactly what is in order for this game. Trying to get under the skin of what could be considered a bit more of a talented Marlboro squad.
And from what we know about this Marlboros team, they're not afraid to join the physical game as well. As walking it in now is Quinn. Quinn cutting in front, and that save is made by Lawson, made that one look easy. One thing the Marlboros certainly have going for them, in guys like Miles Riley, Braden Riley, you could really name a lot of these guys. I was about to pick one more, but it's hard to pick. The speed on this team. We just saw it there from Mason Quinn. They're able to take it wide and cut towards the net easily, as they do there. Save made by Lawson. They might be one of the best teams at carrying the puck into the zone, as Casulo fires it through traffic. Save once more made by Lawson.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right there, Sammy. I would say that them, the Canadians, and the Kings are probably the best teams at working the puck through the neutral zone, not really needing to do a ton of extra passing in the neutral zone, leading to some of those brutal turnovers that we see. They do like to carry the puck up in through past the red and blue line. And yeah, like you said, attribute that to their immense speed with everybody on this roster.
As the Reps try to work in the neutral zone with some speed, they dump that one back in. Hardy out of his net once again to play that one. He's become a focal point of this breakout for the Marlboros, as Casulo, he fires this one off the boards. Herbert, he couldn't get a piece of that, but the Reps player did get a deflection. No ice on the play, as it's kept in by the Marlboros. Walking in now, Braden Riley. Riley has the pass in front, and through traffic they score! The Marlboros jam a loose puck in. Couldn't even tell who got that one, Simon, but a 1-1 game, as a weird, seemingly non-risky play for the Marlboros turns into the game-tying goal.
Yeah, Sam, we were just saying this about the Marlboros game plan. It seems like they're very content of just peppering shots on Luke Lawson and trusting that with their physicality and with their speed, they were able to jump on those loose pucks in front of the net, and that's exactly what we just saw there.
I do believe that was Braden Riley that jammed that loose one in. It just popped out in front of the crease. I don't think Lawson was expecting it. I don't think anyone really was expecting it. Good reaction time there from the Marlboros just to pot that one into the back of the net, as Connor Ashcroft, he circles it around. Tries to find Cameron on the far side boards. The Reps, they retain possession in the neutral zone, but that pass goes awry. A pass back to the D, and now a chance here for the Marlboros as Lawson way out of his net. A Marlboro player clipped. An arm is up, and neither team likes what just transpired there. We'll see who is heading to the box. It does look like it'll be I almost wanted to say a Marlboros power play, but Will Cameron, he was just turned around by the ref. An arm did go up. The referee is going to have a discussion about this one, as now it will be a Reps player heading to the box for a slash. So I guess nothing on the goaltender collision. It will be number 77, Alex Morgan, going to the box, as they're having some trouble.
Oh my gosh, Stripes, come on. Oh, there it is.
Good on timekeeper to get out there and help out with that sticky door. I mean, you never want to see that as the player going to the box. You just want to get in there. You can sit down and be mad about the penalty. As now Shane Roche scored the first goal of the GTHL season. He throws it over to Braden Riley. I love saying that fact. Braden Riley over to Roche. Roche across for Miles Riley. Riley in front, trying to jam the rebound, or the Marlboros, but Lawson, he stands tall, keeps that one out. The Marlboros, their power play, that pass down low to try to find the centering pass around the slot area. I mean, that play is so lethal, and it has been so strong for them this season.
Yeah, and that is certainly probably their best and most reliable set play off of not just a power play face-off, but really any type of offensive zone face-off for them this year. As
Roche sends that one across. Working around now are the Marlboros. That's Braden Riley, dropping it down low for Petrov. Petrov, he has Roche. Sends it over to him at the point. Roche through traffic. Deflection, and Lawson makes the save. Sent back down into the Marlboro zone. Hardy, of course, comes out to play that as Roche starting the regroup for Toronto now. Rosh. He sends it over to Miles Riley. Riley circling around. Back over to the point. A one-time opportunity for Mavru. And that save is made and deflected out of play. It'll be another face-off inside for Toronto. They don't necessarily wait to get the best shot sometimes, the Marlboros. They will shoot as much as they can. They will generate as much offense on the power play as possible as they win that face-off to the side. Knocked down there were the Marlboros. As walking in now is LeCastro. LeCastro finds Mavru. Mavru top of the circle. Back to LeCastro for the one-timer. That one goes wide. Rebound in front. And Lawson just stops it with the back of his pad from going across the crease, as it's Lavolsi battling on the far side boards and dumped back into the Marlboro zone. Long stretch pass here from Hardy. The Marlboros do retain possession. Riley fires that one off the pad of Lawson. The reps run it back once more, dump it down the length of the ice. Just 15 seconds remaining in the power play, a minute 45 in the period. Casulo, he has it in the neutral zone. Casulo finds Herbert. Herbert drops that one for Riley. Back to Herbert. Herbert walking through the slot area as now the power play is over for the Marlboros. We're not able to convert, but certainly generated some momentum. And the refs calling this one icing despite it being so close to when Alex Morgan came out.
That is always a tough call for not only a referee to make, but to be on the receiving end if you're the refs. And I just want to make a really quick point. What a morale booster that must be for the refs. A bit of a, I shouldn't say a dumb penalty, but could have been a back-breaking penalty to go down 2-1 so early in the first period, about halfway through the first at this point. And for Luke Lawson, he faced a lot of shots and a lot of good opportunities there. He's got to be dialed in right now. And if you're the Marlboros, I'm not necessarily a fan of a dialed-in Luke Lawson.
Me neither. I don't think anyone in this league is. A dialed-in Luke Lawson is among the best goaltenders in this league. We just saw him kind of rob Mason Quinn there while you were making that point. It was a pass down low to him in front. He took his time, tried to pick high on the glove side, wasn't able to find the back of the net as now Guinea brings it in. Guinea tried to get that pass across through traffic. It was the Marlboros able to retain possession as now Quinn driving behind the net. Mason Quinn with it now. He has Rosh up top. He likes to go down low on the near side boards. That pass was just a little too heavy as Guinea goes for the hip check. As Hancock, he has a nice little move. Hancock trying to go for the toe drag release, but that is deflected by the Marlboros. Once again, they come back the other way. Maximus Mavru walking in. Mavru cutting towards the middle for number 14, Mason Quinn. Quinn was unable to find the back of the net on that one, but that was a beautiful shot from him. Dragged it back, and it just got a deflection. The reps counting their lucky stripes, as Simon would say. That is not a 2-1 game. Cameron just pinches that one across, unable to get a piece of it. But Mavru, not Mavru, that was number 42, Connor Ashcroft. Got both those numbers wrong. As the reps with the chance for one final opportunity. 10 seconds left in the period. A centering pass is deflected away by the stick of Hardy. And the Marlboros, they will elect to dump this one out to end the period. Currently tied 1-1 here at Canlan York rink number 2. And the reps, they had control of this game for a couple moments, but it's looking like the Marlboros have found their stride.
Yeah, it's almost as if the Marlboros needed to be scored on first to really settle themselves in this game. They seemed a little bit frazzled, a little bit, I shouldn't say nervous, but it certainly seemed like they weren't really connecting on passes well, and they didn't have their legs quite underneath them to start this game. Reps took advantage. And now, since that goal, the Marlboros have been by far the better team, maintaining the puck possession for a majority of that opening frame. And the score reflects that since that opening goal, they were able to tie it 1-1. And it seems like the Marlboros, their strategy is just to throw everything and anything onto the net of of Luke Lawson, and just crash the net, hoping for a rebound or a loose puck there out in the slot.
I mean, with a goalie like Lawson and a goalie like Loftus, really, you kind of got to create your own opportunities off the rebounds, because those first saves, they are so strong and efficient at making. Lawson, he has been so strong in this one. Can't really blame Nolan Hardy for the goal either, as we do see Lawson heading over to his net, get himself settled. As a lengthy discussion here from both benches and the referees, just discussing the pace of the game, I suppose, as the second period just about to start. That play with not Mason Quinn, that was Will Cameron jumping up and colliding with Lawson, could have been much, much worse. We are back in action. Petrov fires this one in front. It deflects back to him. Petrov jammed against the boards there by two Reps players, as we do see an arm up on the play. It'll be a Reps player heading to the box. Looked like a head contact or roughing penalty. I assume that would be the call. Nonetheless, it'll be a power play.
Head contact, yep.
Head contact for 4 minutes, as early in this period, it's the Marlboros with a 4-minute power play. I guess when he shoved Petrov into the boards on the near side, he got a bunch of his cage. So a long, lengthy penalty for them and a power play opportunity for the Marlboros that they love to have. That's LeCastro walking the line. LeCastro popping it across now. Back to Jaden LeCastro at the point for the one-timer. Braden Riley fires it right underneath the blocker of Luke Lawson. It actually looks like it got jammed in that blocker. He was forced to take off his glove to take it out. It'll be a face-off inside. That's Miles Riley taking the face-off for the Marlboros. He's unable to win that one. The Reps dump it, and it's just kept in by LeCastro. On the far side boards now, the Marlboros, they collect the puck. Petrov with it. He drops it back over to Braden Riley. LeCastro walking the line. LeCastro looked like he wanted to shoot that one. He didn't really have a lane as LeCastro walks the line once more, fires it through traffic onto Lawson, and Lawson gathers the rebound off his chest protector. There'll be one more face-off inside. Lots of shots here from the Marlboros early on in this power play.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually something we don't see all that often from the Marlboros. There have been a few times when watching some Marlboros games where we are, I shouldn't say frustrated, but we try to encourage them from our little press box here to shoot the puck with a bit more efficiency and just a bit more, I guess, aggressive on this power play. There have been a lot of times where we've seen them pass around the horn and kind of kill their own momentum in a way. I'm sure their coach had something to do with this aggression we're seeing here.
As Quinn fired that one, just missed the mark. It comes back over to Ashcroft at the line. Ashcroft, he sends it on the near side boards, nearly losing that one, was number 8, Michael Warner. Warner pops it into the corner. A battle behind the net. Nearly every player on the ice is there. The Marlboros, they do come up with it. Mavru was waiting for the pass, went to Ashcroft instead. Turning around now are the Marlboros at the blue line. Nice pass from Maximus Mavru. Mavru walking in. Mavru knocked off the puck. Great defense there, but it is Mavru recollecting it as he sends it over to Quinn. Quinn nearly lost it himself as he sends it down low. Pocek in front as well as Mavru. The centering pass deflects off of Lawson. It'll go down the length of the ice. Forced to retreat there is Connor Ashcroft. Sent now through the middle, but a whistle is blown for offside. It'll be face-off just outside the zone. And look at that, Simon. Don't you love to see that? Right on the 2-minute mark of this 4-minute penalty.
Well, they got half the job done, and now if you are the Reps, you know that even if you get scored on, the power play will be over. But I think this penalty kill that we're seeing here is kind of trying to combat that aggressiveness. You're seeing the Reps play a lot tighter to these Marlboros players, really trying to keep up with their skating, keeping them to the boards and to the blue line, not really allowing any type of cross-ice feeds that we saw that led to that very early first power play goal.
As Lavolsi sent the centering pass, that save was made by Lawson, and now the Reps, they're able to clear the zone. Fires that one off the helmet of a Marlboros defender. Circling around now is Casulo. Casulo, he sends it for Pocek. Pocek, he has some space to skate. Pocek taking it in. Pocek cutting towards Lawson's net. Lawson makes the save, and the Reps, They dump this one way down over to Hardy, who's once again out of his net to play that one. The Marlboros, they go for a partial change. It's a spill through the neutral zone. Gives Roche some real estate to work with, and they are called for the offside once more. 2 offsides on 1 power play. Not really what you want.
That is a fantastic way to put it, Sammy. That is not really what you want. And Rosh, he had a pretty clear lane there. I'm not to say that was going to result in anything, but he certainly had some real estate and some wheels going the other way. A very frustrating offside for both Rosh and the Marlboros.
As it's sent down over to Hardy once more. Hardy out of his net. I want a long pass here. We can see if Hardy can get an assist. It is the Marlboros walking it through the neutral zone. That was number 10, LaCastro, dropping it back. A pass through traffic. Rebound in front!
That one sent high and rimmed around the boards. Taken by the Marlboros at the top of the zone. LaCastro looking for a shot. His shot finds maybe a stick in front, but that'll be swallowed up by Lawson. Ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our play-by-play portion for this game. Marlboros do end up taking this game by a score of 3-2, and if you want to sit back and watch the rest of this one, we invite you to do so. But until then, my name is Simon Hendricks, my color man / play-by-play guy for all of this game, but could not make it for the ending here with Sammy Brzozowski. We've been the Six Hockey, and have a great day, everybody.